up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka JustTenMoreMinutes, aka the Freakin 10. Back again on this Free for All Friday. And this one is a band and a song I've never heard of. It obviously comes from anime. I saw from the thumbnail, and I don't watch anime. I think it's just never been my type of thing. But obviously it's huge. My kids watch it, so you know, I'll see something in the store and I'll sometimes try to be cool and pronounce the name, and they just look at me and start laughing. I'm like, I butchered it, didn't I? And they go, yep. So it's just not something I'm familiar with, but obviously it's got a huge following. And I'll admit, some of the music that comes out of it is pretty dang good, so can't fault it there. Now, with that being said, this is from A Sound of Thunder, Udoroth, maybe Udoroth, I don't know. But I'm interested to see, again, like I said, there's been a lot of music I've heard coming out of anime that's actually quite good. So are we going to find that here? Let's find out. Let's switch it up. Check it out. I'll also say that the subscriber that requested this is someone that's actually been around since nearly, if not the beginning, and I adore them greatly. So you know who you are. I wanted to cover this one. You've mentioned it a couple times, and I'm like, yes, I got it. And so today I'm throwing it in there. So just know I've been thinking about it and saw the request, and so I had to get it in there. And you are appreciated. That being said, let's go. Let's bring this sound up a little bit.
Once minuscule crawl from the ranks of slime, condemned to pay for every mortal crime. A soul so lonesome even demons tremble. His name is misery, depraved divine. The lust for agony that long lay dormant has woken in his damned desire for a horrid, loathsome pain. Udoroth, fear his name. Mercy is not authorized in his domain. Udoroth, the demon lord, laying waste to man's dominion with his horde. A reign of fear and carnage that shall be restored.
Okay, music-wise, I don't have a single problem with the music. The animation, I'm not a fan of it personally. But the music I like. Once minuscule, clawed from the ranks of slime, condemned to pay for every mortal crime. A soul so lonesome, even demons tremble. His name is misery, depraved, divine. The lust for agony that long lay dormant has woken in his damned desire for abhorrent, lonesome pain. Udoroth, fear his name. Mercy is not authorized in his domain. Udoroth, the demon lord, laying waste to man's dominion with his horde. A reign of fear and carnage that shall be restored. See, I have zero problem with the lyrics. I have zero problem with the music. And I don't have a problem with the animation. Just not my thing, but musically and lyrically, I like it. It's got a great tone to it. It's got a great melody to it. It fits it perfectly. What else could you ask for, right? Good music comes out of this stuff. Man. All right, let's keep going.
A feast of flesh to dominate, devour, growing in atrocious obscene power, mastering the hellish death domain. Demons black down courses through his veins. There's no escape from eyes of flame and torment. His grip is tighter than the manacles of iron and the chain. Udoroth,
change. Oh, out of Austin, just north of me. Interesting. Well, northwest. Um, I have zero problem with that song whatsoever. I mean, if I heard that on the radio, I'd rock out to it, even without understanding the story behind it. That's a good song. All right, let me make sure I get where it is. Let's see, because it's actually a longer song. A feast of flesh to dominate, devour, growing in atrocious, obscene power, mastering the hellish death domain. Demon blood now courses through his veins. There's no escape from eyes of flame and torment. His grip is tighter than the manacles of iron and chains. Udoroth, torturous king, he whips the backs of his choir to make them sing. There's no escape from his flail. Flesh and gore are such a bore without the walls. Cried of the tortured to his rule all our hails. And there's some really cool things that they've done coming up. The scrying pool foretold the epic of his reign, reflected in the blood in his rise from hell's domain. He takes the bridge to earth, dark souls at his command, and challenges the queen for the destiny of man. So you saw the two factions, right? You saw, a sound of thunder, and then you had Udoroth over here. But then they went in and they sped it up actually and just went did it. I mean, just really took off. And he will bring forth subjugation of the damned for all to see. Souls enthralled, the culmination of his torment mastery. Cults enslaved to his destruction summon forth a new rebirth. Udoroth, Lord of Demons, rise up, overthrow the earth. Now called again through all to the other side. Now called again through to the other side. On hell and earth his power undenied. A plan in motion from ages born to rule the living dead with no divide. An evil reckoning will burn in the future, and no one will ever deny him of his right. Udoroth, fear his name. Mercy is not authorized in his domain. Now, quake with fear, death comes to all, and the darkest lust is sentenced to the deepest fall. All who stand before him shall be made to crawl. See, that's a story, right? And that's the beauty of, a lot of anime music that I've heard is it tells the story without you necessarily having to understand, the bigger story of what may be an animated series or a comic book. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this at all. But you sit here and get a history, right, of this. I mean, this is kind of... I'll get killed for the comparison, but seriously, this is like Sabaton of comic anime, right? You're getting the history behind it, and then you could go watch it and understand exactly, right? It's that same type of transformation, just in a animated or anime space. I mean, it's telling the story, the history of what this is. I don't know that could be argued, other than real life versus animated. That's really cool. When you really come to think about it, that type of music to tell that type of story in the history as you're watching something, if that's truly what it is brilliant. I actually enjoyed that. Quite a bit. That was good music. I actually like that. I like the story. I'm not saying I'm gonna go watch it, but I definitely enjoyed it. Let me switch it up, give you final thoughts. I'll say it many times, and for those that are new to the channel, as you heard me dive into the lyrics, I really look to see if there's a story being told, or are they just throwing sentences together, right? I love a story. That's exactly what this told. You walk in, you play this for someone with that animated and those lyrics, they're going to understand this story, right? There's really no there may be a little gaps, as far as like an overall background um, of something that happened in the series or the comic book. But if you sat someone down and did this, they could go back and explain about this demon that's now rising up and wants to take over Earth. And there's a battle that's going to be there, right? He says in there and challenges the queen for the destiny of man. Tells a story. Absolutely beautiful. Good suggestion as usual. You never let me down with suggestions. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this one. If this is the only one you happen to watch today, enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday, with our usuals with Ginger, Sabaton, Nightwish, and the bonus video. Tuesday, Sabaton history, along with the warning and closing out that concept album. And then we get into Wednesday with, again, Ginger, Nightwish, Sabaton, and a bonus video. Thursday, Sabaton history and the warning. And then Friday, like today, free for all Friday. Keep the requests coming in. We're closing in on 200 requests, so I'm trying to knock those out as soon as possible. There will be changes coming up as I close out the Ginger concert and cover pretty much every video they've done or song that they've done, and taking a break and moving on to fill that slot with another band and dive down that while we wait for Ginger's new music to come out. Once it's back, they're back on. Always will be a mainstay. Respect them. I love Toddy, so they're not going anywhere, just short term. Anyway, with that being said, y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm JTMM. You know who I am. You know what to ask for. Always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm out.